Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon and welcome to your MTN Noon News for this Wednesday. I'm Charlie Klepps. We began along Highway 287 on the way to Helena. If you've traveled that route, you've driven on a stretch of road that has a track record for being dangerous and even deadly. MTN's Marion Davidson looked into the causes and what can be done to minimize fatalities.
Each one of these crosses represents someone.
It's my dad. I mean, he was my best friend.
A life cut short.
You have your best friend die laying on the highway. You tell me how you would feel.
Matt Zetto is not alone in his grief.
I'm going a minute at a time. I don't know if I'm going to get angry, if I'm going to start crying. I don't know. Sometimes I can't even think. I just have to sit there.
Todd Anderson's wife, Jessica, was killed right here. She was driving to pick up her son in Helena, traveling northbound when her Jeep Grand Cherokee hit a GMC Sierra turning left onto Highway 12 from Silos Road.
Beautiful, heartfelt woman that I miss dearly.
According to the Montana Highway Patrol, in the past 5 years, there have been at least 99 crashes along this 20-mile stretch of Highway 287 in Broadwater County.
6 of those resulted in suspected serious injury, and 3 of them were fatal. In fact, all 3 of those fatal crashes happened within 2 miles of right here.
I don't have an answer how to fix it, but I think the best option is to slow it down.
Matt and Todd and others who live near this stretch of Highway 287 and travel it want to see change.
If we go from here to the other side of Winston, 55, it might help a little more reactionary time. I ain't telling you that people ain't going to still die. We're talking about driving vehicles, but the fact of the matter, maybe people have a touch more time to react.
Most all 2-lane highways in Montana have a speed limit of 70 miles per hour during the day and 65 miles per hour at night. But exceptions can be made.
That's where our process comes into play, the speed study process out of the Traffic and Safety Bureau.
A speed study is just what it sounds like. MDT gathers data, then recommends changes to the Transportation Commission, which can approve exceptions to highway speed limits. But reduced speeds do not always mean increased safety.
There's a certain percentage of the population that abide by those signs. There's a larger percentage of the population that they pay attention to the roadway context. It's out there, it's rural, wide open roadway. It feels comfortable to drive at about 70 miles an hour.
There are other things that can be done to make a roadway safer. Through the federally funded Highway Safety Improvement Program, MDT can study an area of road where there are fatal and serious injury crashes and come up with possible solutions.
Whether it's signing improvements, all the way up to adding turn lanes and such.
There are plans for a $15 to $20 million project to widen almost 5 miles of this road, starting just past mile marker 70, but that's tentatively scheduled for 2029. No matter what changes happen, the families of people killed here live with the grief every day.
He was laying right there right to the right of that stop sign.
Families haunted by a highway that's still claiming lives.
So I go around the subdivision now, go down to the end to turn right. I will turn left, but I will not turn right.
In Broadwater County, Marion Davidson, MTN News.
The Crazy Mountain Ranch is pushing back against state regulators who say it broke a court order tied to watering its private golf course. The Montana DNRC wants to fine the ranch $8,000, claiming it used water that wasn't legally authorized for sale. The ranch says it followed the consent decree and legally bought the water from the city of Boulder, but according to court records, DNRC says the city's irrigation well wasn't permitted for bulk sales. Now a Park County judge will decide whether the state's enforcement moves forward. There's less than a year to go until the 2026 elections in Montana. 3 members of Montana's congressional delegation are up for election, and a growing number of candidates are coming forward to challenge them. MTN senior political reporter Jonathan Ambarian spoke with some of those candidates, and today he'll introduce you to 2 Democrats running in Montana's Western Congressional District.
In 2024, Republican Congressman Ryan Zinke won re-election by 7 points in Montana's 1st Congressional District. It's also a district that President Donald Trump won, but Democrat Jon Tester won narrowly in that year's Senate race. The 1st Congressional District covers much of western and southwestern Montana, including Kalispell, Missoula, Butte, and Bozeman. Zinke has represented the district since 2023. It's his 2nd stint in Congress. He represented Montana at large before serving as U.S. Secretary of the Interior during Trump's 1st term. Last week, Trump endorsed Zinke for re-election on Truth Social. The first candidate to announce a challenge to Zinke was Russell Cleveland, a Democrat from St. Regis. He grew up in the state and recently returned after selling the childcare business he ran in Colorado. He says he spent the last few months focusing on meeting with rural voters.
Just to say, hey, if someone was to come in and really represent Montana, what Montanans need, what would that look like? So built an entire platform based around what working Montanans really feel like they need from a representative.
Cleveland says he's a populist who wants to see the Democratic Party get centered on serving working Montanans.
We really need to focus on bringing jobs back to Montana, having industry that supports the working class, getting people back into homes, more affordable housing, programs that really help with development of our youth, and taking care of our veterans and seniors.
Last month, rancher Matt Raines also announced he was running in the Democratic primary. Raines previously campaigned for U.S. House in 2019. He says his background gives him a way to communicate with Democratic and Republican voters alike.
I understand their way of life, what matters to them, and then I can bring who I am and how I can help them and help them understand it in a way that they connect with. And so, I speak a lot of languages in the state.
Raines lives near Sims, which is outside the Western District, but U.S. House candidates are only required to live in the state they're running in. Raines says he's going to be a candidate ready to push back against Zinke and stand up for voters.
Medicare is under attack, SNAP is under attack, and so we just need somebody that can get back in there and speak for us that everyday Montanans are just trying to get by.
There are some parallels among the candidates. Both Cleveland and Raines have pointed to their backgrounds in agriculture, and along with Zinke, all three men have spent time in the military. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
And good Wednesday afternoon, everyone. I wanted to show you some of the amazing photos. We received dozens and dozens of photos and videos of the beautiful northern lights that we had last night. If you didn't get a chance to see it, here's a few examples. Jamie Lee sent this beautiful photo in. You can see just pointing off in the distance. Almost looks like a flying saucer there. We also had this view from Cody, Wyoming. Looks like every color of the rainbow. A beautiful view. Dewey sent that picture in. Then we head to the Billings area, the Emerald Hills area. Look at this. The aurora coming right at you, and also one more example around the Red Lodge area. Kim sent this in. Now we're actually at the peak of this storm, but the sun has the audacity to be in the sky right now. I'm going to let you know if you can see it tonight, though, coming up.
One of the greatest Montana Grizzly basketball players of all time has passed away. Michael Ray Richardson was Montana's leading scorer and MVP all 3 years that he played for the Grizz. The New York Knicks made him the 4th pick of the 1978 draft, taking him 2 spots ahead of Larry Bird. He became a 4-time NBA All-Star in his time with the Knicks. No cause of death reported at this time. Michael Ray Richardson was 70 years old. One Montana tribe is turning tradition into action. As families across Montana struggle with hunger this season, the Crow tribe is using bison to provide meals during tough times. Our Will Wagner shows us how heritage, culture, and feeding families come together in a meaningful way.
A Veterans Day luncheon was held in Crow Agency. Organizers of it say celebrating those who fought for them is tradition.
It's very fulfilling for me as a younger veteran. And serving the older ones that have served before me. Traditionally, as Crows, we've always celebrated our warriors. And so for me, it's important. I really enjoy doing that for my people.
Everybody needs to come back to doing community events, hosting stuff like this, embracing the veterans for everything they've done, and it just brings the community back together, you know.
Chaz Benz is the Crow Tribe's bison manager. He plays a big role in distributing both bison and elk meat across the reservation, some of which was served at the luncheon. With the recent lapse in SNAP benefits, he says distributing meat has helped to keep families fed.
People put their names down, and right across from their name I got a family size, just to give us an idea of how many people we're actually feeding during those distributions. So every time we do a distribution, it's 200-300 people that we're feeding.
The bison herd got started on the reservation back in the 30s, though its numbers dropped over recent decades. Ben says he has taken steps to grow the herd back over 1,000 head to continue to keep the tribe fed for generations.
So we're just barely over 300 head on the mountain. So that's my goal right now, is to get those numbers back up to 1,000 or 1,500 even. We have the range to do it, so once we get our numbers up that high, and then we'll just keep going with these distributions, and we want to get the meat into the school programs, so we're feeding out, just get everybody healthy, get the herd healthy, the people healthy. That's the plan.
In Crow Agency, Will Wagner, MTN News.